Alright guys, welcome back. Part 21, Final Fantasy X HD Remaster. As I promised you guys, I'll be starting right outside the Cavern of the Stolen Faith. Last time I saw you guys, we collected Yojimbo. So we got this guy now, and almost no money left to our name. What? Okay, actually that's not too bad. 30,000. I picked up some sphere levels. 11, 13, 11. So I think I was at like 5 or 6 when I last saw you guys. I'm pretty sure I caught one of every fiend in the cavern. Between my 2 trips, the one that you guys saw and the one you guys didn't. So hopefully I'll at least get the prize for that, and we can, I'm not going to go back and collect it now, but later on I'll just, I'll have to come back to catch all 10 anyways, but it'll just be a little bit easier that way.
Sometimes Yuna would just stare off into the distance. I finally understood why. She was saying goodbye to the places she'd never see again.
So I got a few things to update you guys on as far as my little last playing session, but there's a fair stream of cutscenes coming up, so I'll wait till they're all done. And actually there's a battle, so I might ramble during that too.
Summoner Yuna and Guardians, leave here at once. Gagazet is Ronso land, sacred mountain of Yevon. The mountain will not bear the footsteps of infidels.
Enemy of Yevon is enemy of Ronso. Leave, traitors!
I have cast aside Yevon. I follow the temple no more.
Then you will die by those words.
So be it. Yevon has warped the teachings and betrayed us all.
Nothing but a bunch of low-down tricksters, eh?
Yeah!
We have no regrets.
Blasphemers!
A summoner and her guardians.
Lord Kelgranso, if I may. Have you not also turned your back on Bavel?
But still you guard Gagazet as a Ronso, not a Maester. Yuna is much the same.
Elder Kelk! Let Biran rend them asunder! No escape! Not one!
No, we will not flee. We will fight and continue on.
You have been branded a traitor, but still you would fight sin. Lost to the temple, hated by the people, yet you continue your pilgrimage? Everything lost. What do you fight for?
I fight for Spira. The people long for the calm. I can give it to them. It's all I can give. Defeating sin, ending pain. This I can do.
even sacrificing yourself. Ronso, let them pass. Summoner Yuna, your will is stronger than steel. Tempered steel that even the mightiest Ronso could not hope to bend. Yuna, we bow to your will. Now go. The sacred heights of Gagazet welcome you.
We thank you.
So I'm checking Khimari's stats because he's going to have a fight coming up in about 20 seconds.
Summoner, small voice.
Halt!
Haven't you bothered us enough?
Summoner may pass. Guardians may pass. Khimari not pass. Khimari shame Ronso brothers. Khimari forget his birth. Forget his people. Forget his mountain. Little Ronso. Weakling Ronso. Mountain hate the weak. Hate the small. If you will climb,
Then I must prove my strength.
think you will win? You not forget who took your horn. Never forget. Khimari never beat Brother Biran. Never win.
This time, I win. I will win.
Why, you... Ugh. This some kind of Ronso thing?
Khimari problem.
Biran rend you asunder. Hornless, hornless.
I'm hoping to steal a couple of these level 3 key spheres here. So you can learn a total of 8 techniques here if you haven't already learned them. Aqua Breath, Fire Breath, Stone Breath, White Wind, Doom, Mighty Wind. Sorry, Mighty Guard. Thrust Kick, and I forget what the last one is. Probably Self-Destruct. I think that's what it is.
We Gronso should know their place.
And for you to learn White Wind or Mighty Guard, you're gonna have to have them use it. So if you kill them too quickly, they won't. You won't be able to learn it. So like now, I can learn White Wind. I'm going to end up dragging this battle out quite a bit longer than I probably should. Like I said, I want to see if I can get at least one more level 3 sphere from him before I kill him off. Perfect. I'm making such an effort to get them because they are difficult to come by. I'm pretty sure this is the first point in the game that you can actually... Oh wow, didn't see that one coming.
Too slow.
Apparently so. Oh. Oh, and you know what? I'm pretty sure I screwed up. Because now that he's berserked, I won't be able to, Perfect, I think that's 3. But now that he's berserked, I won't be able to get him to use Mighty Guard. Which is kind of unfortunate, but I'm sure I'll... Actually, I know there's an enemy coming up that uses it, so... So if you don't use Khimari often, because there is a trophy associated with getting him to learn all his Ronso rages. He has 12. One of them he knows automatically. One you learn way back in Kilika. 8 you learn here. The other 2 are Nova, which we'll learn much later on, and Bad Breath, which you very well could have learned in the Calmlands when you first started encountering him on Boros. I don't know if you guys saw me battle one or not. I doubt it, but nonetheless. I don't know why I've been healing with items. I have Kira. He's the only character who knows Kira, actually. Ironically enough. I feel like this is a waste of a remedy, but I want to see if I can get him to use Mighty Guard, or if he's just going to automatically berserk himself again. Okay. It's going to be one of those days. I think I'm going to try one more steal, and if I don't get anything, like I didn't, I'm going to end it now. Okay, I lied. One more. Boom! Look at that. Now I'm going to end it. Shazam!
You win, Khimari Ronso.
And a couple returns. Here's 2. That's going to be useful.
Biran is happy. Sacred Mount Gagazet. I honor the name of strong warrior who defeats Biran. Remember always, Gagazet, that name is Khimari.
Mountain knows Khimari strong. Khimari may pass.
Summoner, we Ronso will stop pursuers from Temple.
Truly?
Penance for breaking Khimari's horn long ago.
We crush enemies following behind.
Khimari crush enemies standing before. You are most fortunate, Summoner.
I thank you.
Ronso will shine your statue brightest.
Thank you. But I fear that no one will make a statue for a traitor such as I am.
Then Ronso will make.
With grand horn on head.
That would be wonderful.
I wanted to see Yuna's statue too, but I wanted to see it with Yuna by my side.
There's one more scene as soon as we enter the next area that I'm going to come back and save, and I'll explain what's going on next. Needless to say, I'm splitting the Gagazet videos into 2 though, and I'll talk about that in a second.
What is it this time?
Ray and me.
Okay, so we're kind of done with the cutscenes for a little bit. Well, for right now. Anywho, so I got a bunch of level 3 key spheres. I really only needed one. Oh, and I just panicked for a second. I thought they weren't there. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I'm going to resort everything so everything makes sense. Okay. So, now that I've learned triple foul, how am I going to do this? So I have one friend sphere, one return, and two teleport. You are going straight to Lulu. I think the way it stands right now, I'm actually going to burn all my teleport spheres. You know what, on second thought, I'm going to take Walker down this way and have him meet up the other guys there. On the off chance that in a little bit I'm going to want the evade and counter on my capture weapons. We'll see how this next area goes. Basically my initial plan, and I'll still be able to do it, I'll just need a return sphere later. But I'm just going to sweep they're over here, so I'm going to sweep all the way to the left, come through these two areas, and make my way over to Quick Hit, and then through Quick Hit up to, I think, Hastiga, Delay Buster, and eventually I'll end up back up by Sloga here. So for Waka, that's kind of all the way around. For the other two, it'll be the first time to get there. I'm going to go ahead and use an HP sphere here as well, just because it's rather fitting. And everybody's going to be coming through here in a little while. I realize how useless it is doing this for Lulu, but I hate people having sphere levels. I like kind of just zeroing everybody out, so... So that should be it. Oh, Khimari's got 3 now. So obviously the significance of that was he's almost at 50 strength, she's almost at 40, he's at 45. They picked up some agility, but the one thing that they all got that they really needed was a lot more accuracy. Something like 7 or 8 additional points of accuracy, which is going to help with those flying enemies and whatnot. Less so for Waka, he didn't pick any up yet, but... Okay, so that is the significance of doing that way. Obviously, knowing that that's a great place to level up right now, especially for the accuracy, the agility, and the strength, and knowing that I don't actually need quick hit for a long time, that all comes from just playing this game one too many times. Although, to be fair, this is only my second time playing with the Expert Sphere Grid, and it's a little different when you play with the regular one. Not a whole lot different, but different enough. And see, every now and again you kind of notice little things. Oh, there's a chest here.
What should I do?
Like the fact that I really should have used that I really should have used the HP sphere for Riku and Titus, since their HP is a lot lower. But these things happen. They'll get it eventually. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to split this into 2 videos. The first will be this part up to the lovely boss that comes midway. And then from there I'll save it and we'll continue on past the boss that comes at the end. The little swimming area and all that, so, you know, I mean, we're already half an hour in, and that was basically just the Khimari fight there, because I really wanted as many level 3s as I could get. Level 3 key spheres there. But I told you guys I had some things to chat about while I was training in the cavern there. The first is, well, let's watch this scene first.
These mark the graves of summoners and guardians who failed.
Scary, scary. So anywho, the first thing that I need to let you guys know about is I got a trophy while we were gone. A talent for acquisition, which is stealing with Riku 200 times. I don't know why I mugged. But, so that was the first thing that happened. The second thing is both Riku and Yuna, because I was switching them back and forth in the cavern, got their, they both got the warrior overdrive modes. I'm loving the fact that I'm stealing frag grenades here. That is great. Frag grenades, they do a decent amount of damage, but they also do armor break, so if you don't have somebody who knows armor break, or if you need to hit multiple enemies with armor break, they're awesome. So yeah, so she's hitting for 1500 now, which is pretty nice. And that's sort of the benefit of knowing how to use the sphere grid incredibly effectively, is it creates an opportunity where any character can do anything. If you wanted to, you could have Yuna with, you know, 50 attack and whatever her starting magic is, and she can literally walk up and just smoke enemy after enemy with her rod there. So, Yuna and Riku, oh my god, Yuna and Riku got their warrior modes. I'm pretty sure I captured one of every fiend in the cavern, which is always good. I taught Yuna Dispel. I actually wrote a bunch of things down because I didn't want to miss telling you guys anything that happened. But, so Yuna learned Dispel while we were gone. She gained a few levels. Like I said, I was using her there during the cavern. There's a couple enemies that are resistant to physical attacks, and she can hit them for 3000 damage, so obviously that became a no-brainer. I spent about 40 minutes in there, give or take a little bit. And quite possibly the best thing about what you missed while I was doing the cavern. I'm running through the cavern, beginning to end, right? Minding my own business. I get to the end. I run around the end, like right where the warp pad is to go to Yojimbo there. And I'm leaving, and I ran into Dark Yojimbo. I couldn't believe it, because usually, like, I've never run into them before the post game where you get the ability to go back to areas. But I guess because technically once I got the Aeon there, I had completed the cavern. That was the prerequisite. So as soon as I went back in with Yojimbo, I triggered the Dark Yojimbo appearance. I didn't fight him because you can run back to the teleporter there and teleport right out of there, which is exactly what I did. But I had a mini heart attack while that was happening, so I thought I should share that with you guys. This is one of the Jek spheres, Braska spheres. I don't think Orin has any spheres. Although we'll watch this one.
Hello, Yuna. I hope you are well. I wonder how old you are now that you're watching this sphere. You must be very beautiful, like your mother. I wish I could see you. Oh, by the way, Jecht and Orin send their regards. So far, our journey has been very entertaining. Of course, it is a hard journey, but I have no regrets. It is the path I have chosen. Yuna, when you have grown, you will have to find your own path. Do what you must do the way you want to do it. Doors will always open themselves to those who do. Listen close, Yuna. Your future is yours to make. Live the way you want to. Whatever way that may be, you have your father's full support. Yuna, I will always be with you.
That was a touching little message. So there are 10 Jecht spheres, Braska spheres, whatever you want to call them. I think in the inventory they're technically Jecht spheres, but whatever. Anywho. There are 10. That was the second. It's the only one that you can get while moving forward after you can start picking them up. You have to fight that sphere morph, if you guys remember that fight a while back. Probably like 3 or 4 videos ago now. But once you fight them, or once you fight him, it triggers all 10. One is in Makalania Woods that I could have gone back for, but I didn't, so it happens. Like right at the entrance. And the other, I guess it would be 7, are like back quite a bit. So once we get the ability to go back on the airship there, because we will get the airship back. I don't know why I've been so secretive about the airship. We've already been on it once. Like earlier, I get that, before we got to the airship. But now we've been on the airship and you know what it is, and even if you've never played the game before, you could probably guess you were going to end up back there at some point, so... So anywho, eventually we'll be there and we'll be able to fly back and whatnot, so we can go pick up the other 8. And they relate to, and you get a trophy for all 10, and they relate to Orin's overdrives. So when Orin, when you collect the first one, we got Shooting Star there. When you collect 3, you get Vanishing Blade, which is quite possibly his best overdrive. And when you collect all 10, you get Tornado, which is actually a pretty good overdrive too. But
summoners that die up here aren't sent to the far plane.
Why not?
Who would send them? They die alone.
So that means
Many have become fiends, and they may want Yuna's company.
Well, Yuna will be fine.
You're right.
I keep getting in all these battles so quickly, I might actually have to end the video before the first boss fight. Just something I feel I should point out for anybody who's watching that may have found this through my guide, maybe or wants to watch a visual copy of it or whatever. This isn't the same playthrough, and I'll mention this a couple more times as we get to the harder bosses. Oh wow. This isn't the same playthrough, obviously, that I wrote the guide with. I'm doing this much later. It's been about 4 months since I finalized the guide. And, it's obviously I'm quite overpowered. When I wrote the guide initially, I kept everybody on their own kind of pathway almost. And I used, well actually I turned Yuna into a black mage like I always do, but beyond that, everybody else kind of stuck to their own path. And, you know, Sharby would have been barely hitting for over 1,000 at that point in time. Warren was hitting for like 35 to 4. The whole reason he ended up in my party was because he was hitting for so much damage that you just couldn't ignore it anymore. You know, at some point you say, oh, I really like these characters, and especially if you, like I said, if you let them level up on their natural path and you don't do anything to kind of help yourself keep some of the characters, they become somewhat redundant. And it's unfortunate because Aeons are pretty fun to use, but Yuna becomes pretty, I don't want to say useless, but there are much better characters as far as damage output goes. And I even turned her into a black mage. If you kept her on her natural path, all she'd be doing is healing and protecting you. And I mean, you could just switch her in, you know, like right now, you could switch her in for a Null Blaze and, you know, block 2 attacks, but... And not that I have anything against, you know, solid defensive play, but... The somewhat sad truth about this game is once you get into the post-game, and like really into the post-game, basically when you're training to fight all the super bosses, everybody becomes the same. The only thing that separates them is their overdrives, because you gain the ability to move all around the grid really quickly. There's the most famous of grid, like AP grinding, is the Danton Berry trick, which I will show you guys. Because it's the fastest way to gain AP once our sole purpose is just to get strong enough to fight these bosses. And I'll do every other boss, every other side quest, basically anything that would require, or anything that could be done at a lower level, I will still do. If that makes any sense to you guys. Like, I will walk up right up to the point of no return at the end of the game before I start power leveling for the super bosses. I might even actually go through the entire game kind of all story together and then come back and start doing all the extra stuff. Because like there's a save point right before the point of no return, obviously. That'd be a pretty awful if you couldn't save before it, but I might actually complete the game and then come back and start all the extra side quest stuff, the celestial weapons, the super bosses. Pretty much all the post-game activity revolves around getting and powering up the celestial weapons, which is kind of interesting and fun. Well, interesting for me, I don't know, it might not be interesting for you guys, but there's a lot of prep work that goes into the super bosses. Like, it doesn't matter how powerful you are. You know, if you don't go in with certain equipment, or at least close to a certain setup of equipment, you're not going to last long. Like, they are going to waste you so fast. And the benefit is, this time at least I've done it before. When I... Oh wow. When I wrote my guide there, when I started doing the international content and all the Dark Aeons and stuff like that, I did not... I had never fought them before, so I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And it definitely made things interesting. And I definitely lost quite a few fights. That's part of it too, is the learning curve. You know, if you walk into it and if you don't get beaten ever, it's really not that great of a game. Or at least get challenged. You know, they're super bosses for a reason. It's different if, you know, and even like the boss coming up is pretty difficult. Pretty difficult. He won't be for me because I've kind of power leveled here, but most people probably wouldn't be hitting for 5,000 with Walker right now. But nonetheless, the boss coming up is one of those bosses where you can really kind of, like, it can get under your skin a little bit, so we're gonna talk to this guy here.
Greetings, Lady Yuna. My name is Once.
We have met several times before, right?
Not running today?
I have to carry on my brother's business. You've met him, I think. Owaka the 23rd, merchant extraordinaire.
Wait, you're that guy's brother?
My brother wanted to come help Lady Yuna, but the temple imprisoned him for helping traitors.
They imprisoned him because of us?
He doesn't regret it, though. In fact, he told me, before they took him, "Don't worry about me, just go help Lady Yuna."
But why would your brother do this for us?
Well, hey, this isn't the time for talking. There's dealing to be done. Welcome to O'Walker's.
So first of all, technically that's a triple penalty. It's a good weapon for him. I am a little upset I don't have enough to make an alchemy weapon. Or buy an alchemy weapon, I should say. Yes, I am actually going to try and sell off as much as I can. Oh, and I definitely have enough now. I'm not selling my flexible arm, obviously. This is all the stuff that I just earned. Wow, that is awesome. Unfortunately, it's for a character I'm not really using, but stone-proof and poison-proof, it's pretty good.
I will be sure to keep...
He's doing the same.
Thanks.
So I'm definitely going to have to do that boss fight that's coming up on the next one. I guess I spent too long doing Khimari there. Which is, you know, fine, whatever. But,
Welcome.
I do need that weapon. So I shouldn't have too much further to go. Hopefully this video doesn't go past an hour 10.
It's over.
So that alchemy weapon, I love it because I won't be able to make one myself for a long time, and the because I don't use a there we go. I don't use a white mage or anybody kind of built to be a white mage. Oh, nice, energy rain. I use Riku as my healer, like my primary healer, quite a bit. And so, with that alchemy weapon on, those Al Bhed potions recover 2,000 HP to everybody, which is huge. It's like using a mega potion every turn. And I have 99 of them, or probably close to, or 76. I'll get more later. And because the Al Bhed potions, they're also heal, poison, silence, and petrification. You know, they're still better than a mega potion anyways. I know there's items under there, but I'm going to make the last little running part here. I might go back for them when I'm off video, but this is getting to be pretty long here. The nice thing is if I could ever figure out something to add to my customizations there, there's 2 open spots for, like on that alchemy weapon there. I don't even remember what it's called. Okay, and I'm starting to max out captures already. Ugh. Okay, so the good news is this is the last little area here. And I'm just going to keep running from these guys if they're going to be the ones that keep popping up. Once again, I'm regretting not teaching my characters Flee. Did not think I'd be regretting that one. Okay, so I've probably got one more battle before the save point there, and then I will... Oh. Some dream power here. See how this goes. Okay, so there's 2 boss fights coming up in the next video, so I can't promise you that they won't be under an hour, because they are starting to get a little too long even for my liking. So I will try to cut them back, but when we get back, we will take on one of the more difficult bosses of the game. And that will be part 22. I will see you guys then.